Welcome back. This is Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my non-glittered leopard print tumbler. So let's get to it. Today I'm going to be using a Hogg 20-ounce modern curve tumbler, but please feel free to use any tumbler you like. I went ahead and prepped my tumbler and painted it white. The colors I will be using today are a khaki, a yellow, orange, and black acrylic paint. Yes, my orange is from Halloween. The inspiration for this cup today was a card that one of my kids had received, and I really liked the pattern of that and I wanted to duplicate that. So that's what I'm going after today, is that look that is on that card. I'll also be using a natural bristle round brush. One of them is a medium size and one of them is a small size, but please feel free to use anything you have in hand. You don't need to go out and purchase anything. If you happen to have these brushes, then use them. I'm also using a foam brush. You could also take a foam brush and just cut that up and use it as well. Typically I would spray paint for my base coat, but today I'm going to go ahead and use my khaki paint and just paint that on the base. I did about 2 or 3 coats and let those dry in between. I actually used my hair dryer to dry it because I'm impatient. I'm just going to make sure that that is completely dry before I move forward. And I'm going to take one last look at my card, my inspiration card, and I see there's yellow, orange, and black. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to lay down spots, and then we're going to layer from there. I even kind of took that yellow and mixed it in with my khaki just a little bit, just so it wasn't as bright. Starting on the bottom of my tumbler, I'm just going to make real abstract just patches, just dabbing that acrylic paint, so that way it gives it more of a natural look to it. And I spaced them not too far apart because on the card you can see they're all pretty close together. So I kind of want to make sure that I keep that yellow pretty close to one another. I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing this completely around my tumbler, and then I'm going to let that dry completely or use my blow dryer, and then we will be ready to add the orange. Now that that is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and shake up my orange a little bit, and some of it squirted out there a little too much, but that's okay. I'm going to take my orange and I'm just going to layer that on top of my yellow. If you notice I kind of pause sometimes, that's because I'm looking at my card and making sure that it's looking pretty much like what I want it to from the card. Now, all that's showing through are just little patches of that yellow, so I want to make sure that I don't leave any of that orange open. I want to make sure that I fully fill in my orange and just leave a little bit of that yellow showing on either side of it. Again, I am just going to finish up doing this orange completely around my tumbler on top of that yellow. I'm going to let it dry completely, and then we'll be ready to add the black accents around it. Now that my orange is dry, I'm going to take my black, and I'm going to take my smaller rounded brush, or if you cut up a foam brush, just make sure it's a little bit smaller than what you use to do your orange and yellow. And I'm just going to take that, look at my inspiration card one more time, and I see how close all the black is to one another. And I'm just going to kind of follow that pattern that I see on that card. There's no right or wrong here. You just want to make sure that that black is fully filled in. It's nice and solid. You don't want any splotches of that khaki showing through. As an artist, we find inspiration from anywhere, from a card or wallpaper we've seen, or another person's Tumbler that we may have seen. We draw inspiration from everywhere. So this card really just spoke to me when I seen it, and I was so excited to make this, and I hope that you guys have a lot of fun making it as well. It was a little difficult not doing something that was glitter related, but that's okay because not everybody's the same. Some people like glitter, some people don't like glitter, and we have to appeal to all customers. Now, as with the yellow and orange, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to finish doing this completely around my tumbler. I'm going to let that completely dry, and then we will be ready to epoxy it. Now, as you can see here, I'm just going to kind of finish this up. I'm going to do up the bottom real quick. And as you can see, I'm just making sure that I make those bands just a little bit thicker than I need to, because like I said, I want to try to go after that image that I'm after with my card. So it's okay to come up into that khaki. It's okay to dip down into that orange. You just randomly just dabbing up and down with your brush, making those lines around the outside. After I'm done completely doing these stripes around the outside, I'm going to come back through, and I actually added just a couple more dots in between just to make it even more closer together. Once that is completely dry and it's the way that I like, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick little spritz of my semi-gloss clear coat from Rust-Oleum that I purchased. And then I will be ready to do my epoxy. I took my Amazing Clear Cast epoxy, which is what I use, and I mixed it up really good until it was clear. And then I'm just going to do a stripe on the front of the tumbler, flip it, and do another stripe. And then I'm going to place it onto my turner and let that cure overnight. Then you can add any personalization you'd like. And then you can add another coat or two of epoxy, and she is ready to go. Whether you try to duplicate this tumbler as is, or you take it as inspiration and make it something completely your own, I hope that you had fun watching this tutorial today. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more vlogs or tutorials I have coming your way, and I will see you guys next time.